Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. In the last episode, we discovered a little bit of Teruteru's backstory. It turns out he has an ill mum, and considering it's been a few years since, they went off to join Hope's Peak Academy, in those years, his mother may have died. He wanted to get off the island to see what had happened to his mum and the family diner. Part of me does also think his motivation may have been to stop Nagito, like his gut motivation, like when he actually did the stabbing and, he kind of thought of that. I think he may have been like, I need to stop Nagito, I need to protect the others from getting murdered. However, the fact that he didn't come clean, that he didn't just admit to it and say, listen, we don't need to go through a class trial, I'm the killer, it was all me, that clearly shows he was gonna use this to get off the island. His motivation may have been good at the start, but it quickly turned into something a little bit more self-serving. He wanted to go see if his mum was alright, that is understandable. But here's the thing, everyone else will have mums. Or mother figures. Or, father figures, guardians, people they care about, and they didn't start murdering. So it's an understandable motivation, but it doesn't make it any better. Also, we're back to 45-minute episodes. I do hope you enjoy. Now then, onto this. Teruteru. There's no way I can believe it. It has to be a lie.
That's why I wanted to go home!
I wanted to go home and confirm it. I wanted to make sure it was all just a lie. I wanted to make sure that I still have a place to call home. Teru, you... I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's not that Teruteru didn't believe it. He believed it more than anybody else here. That's why he kept denying it. Because he believed it, he needed to deny it. Damn it. If I only knew how he felt, something like this would have never happened. I wanted to confirm by any means necessary. I had to do something. That's when I heard Nagito's plan. I found out he was going to kill someone if I left him alone. That's why.
Fine.
So, you wanted the first kill?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you guys. It doesn't mean I wanted to sacrifice any of you, but it was the only thing I could do. And I ended up killing Byakuya instead of Nagito. I see.
I think I'm the one who went crazy.
Aww. Teru. I see. Interesting, but... as far as motives to kill are concerned, wanting to see your mom is boring! What?
So... Yahoo!
It seems there's no point in basking in the afterglow, so let's hurry up and begin the punishment!
You can't!
No, you can't!
Jeez, get out of my way!
Stop hurting Usami!
Well now.
There! Now that'll look there, let's try that again. There! Now that the annoying little sister has been dealt with, let's get back to business.
Wait!
Hold on a sec. I'm not asking for forgiveness anymore, but At least...
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
I've prepared a very special punishment for Teruteru Hanamura, the ultimate cook!
Hey!
Call me chef. No, wait, that's not what I...
Please!
Please, tell me at least what happened to the Hanamura diner, to Mama.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Lies! I won't believe this!
I won't believe it.
Mama!
Damn. Game over. Teruteru has been found guilty. Time for the punishment.
Extreme!
Flipping heck. As soon as I saw that he was getting covered in stuff, I was like, you're gonna put him in a volcano. I knew it. Oh! Oh! Flipping heck. Yahoo! Extreme!
Yeah!
I'll accept that.
Whew.
Phew! The adrenaline is rushing through me.
Ah!
Teru!
Damn it!
Are you fucking serious?
Blah, 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 blah.
I will also accept that. Why not?
How cruel.
Why? Why did you do something so cruel?
What?
Huh? Didn't you learn when you were in elementary school? If you badmouth someone, the teacher writes it in a note and makes whoever you badmouth read it to you in front of the class.
No.
When that happens, only then do you think about how it feels to be badmouthed. The same applies to murder.
What are you saying?
You're the one who drove him to it. So cruel. This is just too cruel.
Nice!
Well, it can't be helped. Rules are rules, and this is the killing rule after all. What rule? You're the one who's breaking the rules. Huh? I can't just let that slide. What do you mean? When you mentioned the motive, didn't you also promise something? However, there's a catch. Don't tell me the catch is... Poo-hoo-hoo. Figured it out yet? That's right, you guys have to kill each other. That's my bargaining point. You guys want to know, right? You want your school memories returned to you, right? Then you better start killing. A penny for your thoughts and a murder for your memories. Why? Why didn't you tell Teruteru about his mom or his Dinah? He had a right to know.
You...
Yeah, us too. We all have a right to know.
bastard!
Hey, hurry up and tell us. What did you mean earlier when you mentioned our school memories? Oh yeah, I did promise to return your memories after the killing began. Yeah. Once this trial is properly over, I'm gonna go into some of my thoughts and theories, because I have a few of them. Huh? You're gonna do it, but telling them is kind of... But I never told you guys that I'd tell you right away.
What?
Not fair.
That's not fair.
Of course.
Of course, I'll keep my promise to return your memories someday. But it's still not clear when that someday will actually be. I must excuse myself as well. There's something that I need to do.
Huh?
What the heck?
So cruel!
That's not fair. They both ran away.
Then...
Monokuma had us wrapped around his finger after all.
Stupid!
Teruteru, you stupid!
Such despair.
An ending like this is just full of despair. A seriously tragic despair. But still, at times like this, as the symbols of hope, you guys need to keep doing your best. Dude, they're about to beat the shit out of you, dude. You might want to shut up.
You.
Why are you smiling?
Crap!
How can you smile in a situation like this, you creep?
Nope.
Hold on. I'm sad too, you know. Didn't I tell you? From the bottom of my heart, I truly love you all. You ultimates who inspire hope and your splendid talents. There's no way I can be happy when we've lost such a talented individual.
Don't fuck with me!
Don't go saying creepy shit. I'll fucking kill you. Please, kill me anytime. His plans haven't stopped. They haven't stopped. They haven't changed.
What?
Huh? I love that laugh. Every time it's gonna come on, I'm gonna say that. If you hate me, I don't mind you killing me. I've already prepared myself to become your stepping stone.
Someone like me?
If absolute hope can be born from that, then my life is nothing special. You, how messed up are you?
Hey.
However, if you're going to kill me, make sure you discuss it with me beforehand, okay? You see, if you do that, then I can cooperate with the killer. Are you seriously intending to help the killer? It's really not that big of a deal. If you're students of Hope's Peak Academy, if you're the symbols of hope who possess the chosen talents,
Great!
then it shouldn't matter to you guys at all if I cooperate with the killer, right?
You fiend.
Declaring so confidently that you'll side with the killer.
Hey!
Maybe this was his plan all along. Since he's willing to work with the killer, he wants us to think it's better for us not to kill him. Well, I don't mind what you think of me. In actuality, thanks to Byakuya, I'm starting to feel a small desire to live.
This is exciting!
Mostly, I just want to watch everyone destroy all the despair that comes for you, one after the other. Just kidding.
You pissed me off.
Hey, can I punch ya? I just won't be satisfied till I punch ya. Fine. Let's stop this already. It's just going to be a waste of time if we keep dealing with him.
What?
Huh? Even Hajime hates me now.
How unfortunate.
That stings. I felt you and I were quite similar. What does that...
Isn't that right?
You hold a special feeling towards Hope's Peak Academy, just like me. Don't put me in the same category as you.
Hey,
But how can you say you're not? Monokuma said it himself. We don't know anything about each other's true nature. No, if it's true that our school memories were stolen, it's the same as not knowing our true selves, too. Especially for you, right? Someone who can't even remember what his talent is. Ugh. Akane, please feel free to punch him. Oh, are we gonna get actual violence here? Will do!
wait!
Hold on!
Please stop!
Please, stop this at once! Nothing will come from fighting like this. There is something else that we must do.
Huh?
Something else?
Please listen!
We must not argue with each other in a place like this. There is something more important we must do.
Let me ask.
Which is... do our best.
You fiend.
Well?
We must first leave here and get some rest. And then we shall all work together and do our best. Do our best so we never have to come back here again.
Perhaps.
That is what I believe we must do right now.
I am sorry!
I am sorry. If only I was a better motivational speaker. No, that was pretty good. That was really good, Sonia. You're a simp. Of course that would touch your heart and touch other places. No, that really touched my heart and penis. You're totally right. We need to do right... Excuse me. It's all the American accents. You're totally right. What we need to do right now is do our best. If we do our best, it's definitely going to pay off, right?
Yes.
Yes, that is right.
Like...
But what do we have to work hard at? I do not know, but we must do our best. Jeez, I don't get you at all. Are you some kind of moron?
Well?
It's fine if you don't know. What matters is that you hold on to the feeling that you have to do your best.
Right?
So, let's do our best. Let's make sure a killing like this never happens again.
But...
It's scary, but doing our best is our only option. There's no way I'm doing what Nagito said.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright, I don't know what you're all talking about, but let's do our best for now!
Fine.
Very well. Even if we are not able to change the future, I guess I should at least change my tomorrow. Damn fiend! I won't give up until the very end. I won't die in vain. I will give my entire existence, my entire power, my entire body and soul, and fight to the very end! Yeah, you're right. Let's definitely work together and leave this island. Do our best. We kept using that phrase over and over again. Even though we knew they were just cheap, meaningless, empty words. Regardless, we still said it. And we continued to say it over and over again without stopping. Thus, the curtain had fallen upon the class trial where Byakuya and Teruteru were sacrificed. Afterwards, we left the trial grounds and returned to the mainland of Jabberwock Island. For the time being, we decided to go back to our cottages. After experiencing something like that, there's no way I could fall asleep. I gave up, got out of bed, and began walking around the hotel grounds for no real reason. After not doing much of anything, I dully looked up at the sky. And there, just like before, there it was. The night sky brimming with stars. Stars that looked like they were about to fall into my hands like fluttering snow. As I looked up at such a beautiful night sky, I can go anywhere. That thought crossed my mind for some reason. This sky is connected to anywhere, even to my daily life. That's why I might be able to go home. That's right, I'm definitely going to go home. That's when it happened. As I stared up at the night sky, I felt a strange convergence of sensation. And then, while I continued to stare at the night sky, I felt my entire body stiffen with that sensation. Isn't this...
Is someone watching me?
Well, that doesn't look good. Chapter 1, Destination Despair, End. Surviving students. 14. To be continued. You have obtained a present. 3-star badge. Oh. And we have also obtained... You have obtained a present. Wooden stick. What? Sure. Bap.
For a long time, humans have been taught that if you try hard enough, you can accomplish anything. Even if we weren't told this directly, you'd know it just by looking at the world around us. The internet, TV, and newspapers are overflowing with hopeful messages that say exactly that. But people who can't win, people who don't try to win, people who try their best and still can't win, they are all worthless trash. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who are born with worth, and everybody else. No matter how hard a lowly human tries, they will never be the same as someone who was born worthy. They say that effort breeds success, but that's a complete lie. The world is not that accommodating. No matter how hard a small dog tries, it will never become a large dog. No matter how much a penguin tries, there's no way it will ever soar through the sky. Which means unworthy humans will never become worthy, no matter what they do. People with talent don't become talented. They're just born with their abilities right from the start. That's right, just like you guys. That's why I have so much respect for you all. Just so you know, what I feel is different from admiration. Admiration is wishing you could be like the object of your admiration. But what I feel is not so self-serving. How should I put it? What I feel is more pure. More like a selfless love that wants nothing in return. So, I want you guys to believe me when I say, I don't mind if you kill me. But if that happens, I want you to let me help. I don't care if the killer survives, or if everyone but the killer survives. want both sides to do their very best. I want to see with my own two eyes the absolute hope that lies ahead. Yep, I'm really lucky. Someone as insignificant as me will be there when hope and despair collide and unleash their energy. So please, let me help you. If you're planning to kill me, I would be honored to help you carry out your plan. I want you to use me as a stepping stone so everyone can shine. I want you to kill me in a way that befits...
Oh, God. Who are you monologuing to? Who are you monologuing to? When in doubt, we go with a garbled voice. Oh, shut up! Nagito. Nagito, are you okay? I don't think he's okay. Chapter 2, Sea and Punishment, Sin and Coconuts, Daily Life. I think Nagi, the next time we see him, he's probably going to have a black eye. You know what? I'm going to take this as a moment, because I'm going to go to my report card, because I kind of want to talk about how I feel about all of the characters and certain plot points. What do I think is going on here? Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to think where would be the best place to start. Also, can you see... I do not have a mouse on this screen, so you know what? There we go. It'll be easier to go from here. Like I said, I'm trying to think where would be the best place I could go from. I guess my main theory that this is a simulation, I still stand by that. Like I said, there are certain things that only make sense if this is a simulation. There are certain things that can be backed up by like, oh, well, the tragedy, why is this island uninhabited? The tragedy, okay, but where have all the people gone who were on this island? Because, like, yeah, okay, the tragedy, no one's going on holiday, but this was a really large island with a hotel, a ranch, a supermarket, you know, and the animals are still alive, the supermarket is still stocked, all of that. So clearly this place isn't uninhabited. Saying, oh, the tragedy, no, that doesn't explain why there are no people here and why this island looks so tidy. Why did a chicken become a cow? Why was Monokuma Rock? Explain that. Like, there are certain things that can only be explained by someone is fucking about with the code. This is not a real location. This is a location based off of the holiday destination Jabberwock Island. Like, I think Byakuya wasn't talking out of his ass. I hope I said that correctly. I don't think Byakuya was talking out of his ass. I don't think he was making up like, oh yeah, Jabberwock Island. It's a holiday destination. Well, I'm totally not making all of this stuff up. Like, no, I believe there is a genuine island called Jabberwock Island. And it is a bunch of islands surrounding one bigger island, and it's a holiday location. I just don't believe this is that island. I think this is a simulation based off of that. All of these mysteries, when put together, there is only one answer that solves them. And that is this place is not real. So I still think that is true. Something of note that I find rather interesting, all of these characters have a negative trait. To varying degrees. I'm going to leave Hajime till last. No, I would... Okay, Q&E. There we go. We have Nagito. This guy is obsessed with hope to an unhealthy degree. Byakuya. This wasn't Byakuya. He was an identity thief. So, Gundam is obsessed with the occult and seems to be living off in his own little world. Kazuichi is a simp. Teruteru was a sexual pervert. Nekomaru won't stop talking about shit. He is incredibly crude. Fuyuhiko is violent and very cruel. Akane just keeps eating shit and is completely oblivious to what's going on around her. And we also have seen that her first instinct is like, oh, there's a problem, I'ma punch it. So, like, she resorts to violence. Chiaki, I'm gonna go with she's got narcolepsy. You might be thinking, but that's, like, compared to the others, like, that's really not her fault if she's got narcolepsy. I'm gonna round back to Chiaki. But yeah, so she's sleepy all the time. Sonia, it says she's into the occult and Japan. She is a pagan weeaboo. And she is, to be fair, being a pagan that's not a bad thing. But if she's into the occult, like, weirdly into the occult, like, he has that look on his face, like, when someone watches Friday the 13th, like me. Like, that was a really weird line. She is the leader of a country, or she is going to be the leader of a country. And bearing in mind, with monarchs and, the royal family, I'm British, I come from a country that has a royal family still, things that the royals favour generally do become popular within certain, spheres of, the regular civilian population. So if she's into, like, occult Japanese stuff, you are going to have a country of culty weeaboos. Just Nova Selic, the country of, like, weeaboo cults. It's going to be weird. Hiyoko, she a bitch. That's basically the only way I can word it. I will admit, I do have a soft spot for Hiyoko. How do I want to put this? I've said this before. I was a lolly back in my youth, and I don't think people understand how hard that can be. You are bombarded by people who want to fuck you because you are legal, but you don't look legal. It hurts so much to know that the only reason why someone is interested in you sexually is so that they can live out their pedophile fantasy. It hurts so goddamn much. And here's the thing, the creeps aren't the worst. The creepy people aren't the worst kind of people you run into. Do you want to know who is? It's the kind people. It's the people who think they are doing something nice for you and then get really pissy when they discover that you lied to them. I'm using air quotes there. One of the worst experiences I ever had, I was 19, I had to go see a gynecologist. Certain cancers run in my family and in the female line of my family, namely breast, womb, and ovarian cancers. And as such, if something goes wrong for me in either of those locations, I am getting it checked the fuck out. And I was 19 at the time. I had never seen a gynecologist. I was a virgin. The idea of going into a doctor's office and, taking off my jeans and having someone look at me down there, it was extremely frightening for me. It was extremely frightening. And my mum, to be honest, my mum was rather ashamed. My mum is very Victorian, the only people who should be looking at your lady parts are your husband and the doctor who is delivering your kids. Like, she's kind of that mind. So she was rather ashamed that I had insisted, no, this is weird. I want to get it checked out. And this is not normal. This is not right. I would like to, put my mind at ease. She had said, I'll come with you into the waiting room, but I'm not going into the doctor's office with you. Absolutely not. I'm not showing my face there. The nurse came in. I will also say me and my mum were the only people in that doctor's office. We were the only people in the waiting room. The nurse came in, Callista. And I can see she's looking at my mum. And I stand up and her mouth drops open. Her eyes go wide and she kind of, no, Callista. And I say, yeah, I'm Callista. And her face loses so much of its colour. And she's kind of babbling at me like a goldfish. And in that minute, I knew, you think I'm much younger than I actually am. You think I'm much younger than I actually am. And I was just so nervous, I didn't bother, saying, oh, I'm older than you think. I just kind of was like, I want to go see the doctor. And just to get to the end of the story first, I was fine. It was not something cancerous. I was completely fine. But as she's walking me to the doctor's office, I can see she's looking at me and the gears in her head are turning. They are turning and I can tell she is creating some terrible story. But why would a child need to see a gynecologist? Oh my God, she's clearly being abused. She's being abused. Maybe it's by a family member. Oh shit, like you can tell she is creating this incredibly tragic backstory for me. And she shows me into the doctor's office. She leaves. She comes back with like 5 other nurses who all immediately surround me. I'm in the stirrups because she told me to get in them, like take off your pants and get in the stirrups and all of that. And they surround me and they're cooing at me and, oh, do you want us to go get your mummy? Oh, and like doing that. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's fine. Like I'm freaking out. One of them decided to actually look at my notes. And she goes, hold up, how old are you? And I say, I'm 19. And immediately, like that, it was like all of the air had been sucked out of the room as all of these women went from being incredibly kind to being incredibly judgmental. And the first one says, oh, I thought you were about 12. And they glared at me. They glared at me because I had lied to them. By not saying anything, my appearance, my body had lied to them. I had made them think I was an innocent 12-year-old who was being sexually exploited or something like that. And no, it turned out I was a 19-year-old whore who had clearly been spreading her legs. Like, they wanted to be kind. And then when they discovered that, like, not all was as they thought, despite the fact that I had never said anything, I had never told them I was 12, I had never said, oh yeah, I'm here because I'm being abused, they had come up with this story in their heads and they thought they were being kind. And then when it turned out, like, nope, what you thought was bullshit, it was my fault. Like I said, people who were trying to be kind were some of the worst people because they would get so pissy when their kindness wasn't going to someone that they thought it should. I have a lot of empathy for Hiyoko. I do kind of think that probably her foul mouth and her cruelness probably comes from the fact that she will have to deal with so many creepy people. She will have to deal with so much bullshit, and she's just decided, you know what, I'm going to have a foul mouth. If you can't remember how old I am, I'm going to remind you by being unnecessarily cruel and swearing constantly. How about that, So that's Hiyoko's sin, in inverted commas. She's a sexist. Mikan keeps having accidents that clearly are not accidents. She is putting herself in vulnerable situations to make people feel badly for her so that they won't see her as a threat. She is definitely very conniving. Ibuki has ADHD. Like I said, the severity of these differences, like narcolepsy and ADHD, they can't help that, but like it's all going in the pot. Peko basically admitted to killing someone or multiple people. And Hajime over here, Hajime is the worst. Hajime is the most egregious of all of these people because he does not have his memory. For all we know, we could be playing as the ultimate rapist. The ultimate child groomer, the ultimate sex offender. We have no idea. I'm not saying that's what I actually think, but we could be. The fact that Hajime doesn't have his memories means that he is the worst of all of them because he could be anything. They all have problems. And from what Usami has said, she has been very hush hush with their memories. She's been like, we need to, don't give them their memories, don't do it. I kind of think this I kind of spoil myself there. I think this is a rehabilitation simulation. I think that's why they are in this game, if you want to call it. They are all here so that they can get over their individual issues. Next point. The traitor. I should just say, I think that the traitor is on Usami's side, as in, they want to help the students. They are here to rehabilitate. To be honest, I don't like my theory for who the traitor is, because, how do I put this? I think the traitor is like Usami, by which I mean, I think Usami is an AI. I don't think she exists in the real world. And if you have one person to act as, basically like a therapist or a psychologist, why would you send a real person in to aid them? Why wouldn't you just create another AI? So I think the traitor is an AI. And there is one person I can point at for that role who has been consistently on Usami's side. Who was the only person who thought that the Usami strap was cute? Who was the person who jumped in and was like, when everyone was like, oh, what do you mean you can't die, Usami? Who was the one who jumped in and was like, oh, well, she's a robot, so clearly she'll have spare parts? Who was the one who felt so comfortable hanging out with Usami alone when the party was going on? Chiaki. I think Chiaki is the traitor. I also think she's an AI. I do not believe she is real. Like I said, I don't like that theory because I want her to be real. I don't want her to be confined to the computer. But that's what my gut says. That is what the evidence has shown me so far. The reason why I think she's an AI, I think Monokuma is basically a virus. I think he is a virus that has infiltrated the simulation. And when he infiltrated, presumably he will have been able to see how many living consciousnesses are within it. He said 15. Only 15 people arrived on the island. Therefore, whoever the traitor is, they are not a living consciousness. They are an AI, like Usami, and I think it's Chiaki. The last theory I think I have, Hajime and his ultimate. So my fiancé had a couple of theories for Hajime and his ultimateness. He did offer up the ultimate litigator, I think it was. Was it litigator? Fuck. The ultimate lawyer, someone who stands in a courtroom, shouting at shit and all of that. He also, after I told him about my, it's a simulation theory, he also offered up Hajime could be the ultimate AI. I think they're both very interesting. Though, to be honest, I don't personally ascribe to either of those because I haven't seen any evidence. Hajime was no more competent in the class trial than Makoto was. Hajime is competent because we're playing as him. If we were playing as Gundam, or Teruteru, or Fuyuhiko, or whoever, they would suddenly have the same abilities that Hajime would have. Those, his ability to argue it's because of us, not necessarily because of him. And if the traitor is an AI, and if it is Chiaki, then Hajime wouldn't be an AI, because then that'd be 14 consciousnesses within the simulation. I've looked through the first chapter, looking for evidence of Hajime's ultimate, because Spike were very good at that. They were very good at laying down those seeds early on so that when something was revealed later, the audience would be like, oh shit, yeah, that! Oh, and because there was that means this, and blah, 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 blah. So I knew they would be leaving hints for what Hajime's ultimate is. And after looking back, I can't find a single hint, which in and of itself is a massive hint. I don't think Hajime is an ultimate. I think he is a regular-ass person. He has no special talent, he has no special skill, he is just an average, everyday, run-of-the-mill schoolboy. He said in his opening that, I can't remember the exact line, but it was something along the lines of, I feel like a fraud coming here, my circumstances were unusual. What would be more unusual than the first non-ultimate attending Hope's Peak Academy? Now, we may get hints as to what Hajime's ultimate is. However, the fact that we haven't seen anything so far, that, like I said, that their silence is just as much of a hint as them saying something, if that makes sense. I hope I've made sense. I hope my ramblings have made sense here. But yeah, so that's that's kind of my theories so far. I think this is a rehabilitation simulation. I think that Chiaki is the traitor, and I think Hajime is the ultimate nothing. As for what I think of the characters so far, I actually don't hate any of them. I think so far the two I dislike the most are Nekomaru because he is crude as fuck, and Mahiru because she is sexist as fuck. However, I don't actively hate any of them. To be honest, the reason why I hated Kyoko in Trigger Happy Havoc, it was how the game devs handled her, because a lot of her traits I liked. I liked the fact that she was lawful. Because let's be honest, Kyoko wasn't good. She was lawful. The law doesn't give a shit about your feelings. The law cares about saving the majority. And to save the majority, sometimes you have to sacrifice the minority. She was a chess player. She was going up against Junko. And despite Junko having all of these advantages, she was able to work around that. You know, God, I'm trying to... I also kind of like the fact that she knew so much, but she didn't tell anyone. It was frustrating at times. However, I appreciated the fact that she was like, listen, I'm not just going to tell you the answers. Because that would have been a boring as sin game. If Kyoko had just strode into a room and been like, this person did it, now we're just going to stand about for an hour until the class trial starts. Like, that would have been boring as fuck. So I appreciated the fact that they didn't do that with her. The reason why I didn't like Kyoko was because the game devs were constantly kissing her ass. That's ultimately why I hated Kyoko. It wasn't because of any of her traits. It was because the game devs went out of their way to be like, oh, don't you love her? Don't you just love her? She's so perfect. And all of the shitty things she's done, yeah, she's not going to apologize or anything like that. No, in fact, we're going to actually bullshit our way into making you think that it was necessary. The time that she almost sacrificed the lives of children based on a guess, yeah, it was totally worthwhile because her guess was right. Doesn't that make it better? No, it doesn't fucking make it better. It doesn't make it better that she tried to sacrifice the lives of children based on a hunch. I'm sorry. What the fuck? Nothing you can say would make that better. But they went out of their way to try and make those seem like positives. And the number of times they had Makoto be like, oh my god, Kyoko was right. I guess I have to thank her for that too. She got me out of this situation that she put me in. Oh, I should be so grateful. Fuck that noise. Fuck that. No, if they had just been more objective with her and been like, yeah, she's doing shitty things. She is doing shitty things, and we are actually going to confront that. I probably would have really liked Kyoko, but they didn't. They never did that, and instead they went the complete other way. They doubled down on trying their best to make her liked. And I couldn't fucking stand that. I seriously couldn't stand that. And they have actually avoided that with these characters. Like, Teruteru, sexual pervert, multiple people have been like, oi, dude, stop it. Nekomaru, crude as fuck. Oi, turn it down. The same goes for Fuyuhiko. There have been less people going after Mahiru, which is why she's right now at the bottom of my list. There haven't been people being like, Mahiru, why are you being a massive sexist to the boys? What the fuck? Like I said, if it continues, if people keep on continuing Mahiru's shitty behavior, that's probably going to become problematic for me. But right now, the rest of the characters, even the ones I dislike, I don't actively hate because the game is at least acknowledging, hey, these people are being shitty. These people are not being nice. Like, we are being very objective here, and I really appreciate that. I'm so sorry. I think I've spent most of this episode talking about my theories. I am very sorry about that. Let's go back. Also, whilst I'm here... Yeah, you okay, Snake Emmy? You okay? Just thought I'd check. Okay, I'll go up until where music starts. That way I'll have something for, my outro screen. Byakuya and Teruteru died just last night. An ordeal like that doesn't change the fact that I still get hungry. I learned this firsthand as I headed towards the hotel restaurant with dreary, sullen footsteps. Okay. And I am going to bring this episode to a close right here. Once again, my apologies for talking about my thoughts and theories for so long. I didn't realize how long that would take me. My apologies about that. In the next episode, we get to see how everyone's doing after the execution and Byakuya's death and Nagito being a crazy hoe. How is everyone doing? But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.